Hey guys! If you've ever found a coin lying around, just hanging out in your pocket or the back of your junk drawer, thinking it's worth nothing, I'm here to tell you, think again. I remember this one time I was going through some old change from a forgotten jar I found in my basement. You know the kind, right? Full of quarters, pennies, nickels, basically a small mountain of forgotten coins. I almost tossed it all in the donation bin, but I decided to give it one last look. I pulled out a 1993 D Washington quarter, totally casual, not thinking much of it. But guys, let me tell you, it's worth more than just a couple of bucks. In fact, that little quarter could be worth a cool $2.7 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, grab a seat because today I'm about to break down the insane value of these bad boys and show you how to spot a gold mine in your pocket change. Alright, let's dive into the good stuff. The 1993 D Washington $quarter coin, what makes it worth a fortune? At first glance, it's just like any other regular quarter you'd find in your change. I know, no flashy gold or rare metals. But let me hit you with a quick reality check. This isn't just any quarter. It's the 1993 D with a mint mark, D standing for Denver. Now, you're probably wondering, why the heck is a regular quarter from 1993 worth millions? Here's where things get interesting. In the world of coin collecting, condition is key, but there's something even bigger going on with this one. Not every 1993 D Washington quarter is a gold mine, but a select few, if they meet certain criteria, can bring in some serious cash. We're talking about a market value of $2.7 million for certain high-grade versions of this coin. It's all about rarity. See, the 1993 D quarter is considered a low-mintage coin. It wasn't produced in large quantities like other years, and even more important, the coins that were minted didn't have the best quality control. A lot of these quarters have small defects, poor strikes, or just aren't in mint condition. But when you find one that was struck perfectly, no errors, no signs of wear, it can be worth a lot of money. Condition really does matter. A coin could be an absolute gem, but if it's been beat up by time or a bad washing machine experience, it won't fetch much more than face value. But if you happen to find a pristine, high-quality example, that's where the money's at. These coins are so rare, they're like hidden treasure waiting to be uncovered. Now, how do you know if yours is a winner? It's all about those fine details. Check for any signs of wear, corrosion, or scratches. Look for a strong strike. And here's where it gets a bit tricky, but if you can spot these subtle details, you could be holding onto a valuable piece of history. It's kinda like finding a needle in a haystack, but when you do, oh man, you won't believe the feeling. I went through a ton of coins, just like you might be doing right now. I even had a few 1993 D quarters. I thought they were just like the rest, and honestly, I almost passed on them. But something made me take a closer look. Maybe it was the way the light hit the coin or the excitement of knowing what I was looking for. I found a couple that were in incredible condition and had this nice, sharp strike. I'm telling you, I got that this might be worth something gut feeling. I did my homework, got it graded, and bam, I was sitting on a small fortune. It's not just about luck, though. It's about knowing what to look for, being patient, and understanding that coins like these don't just show up every day. The 1993 D Washington quarter is a reminder that hidden gems can be found in places you least expect, whether it's in your loose change jar, your grandma's old purse, or even that mystery bucket of coins your kids decided to borrow for their piggy banks. And let's not forget about the market for these coins. The coin collecting world is booming and rare coins are in high demand. So even if you're thinking, okay, I didn't find one this time, don't give up hope. Coins like the 1993 D Washington quarter may be hiding in plain sight. I'll say it again, keep your eyes peeled because you never know when you'll come across a $2.7 million coin. If you've got a 1993 D Washington quarter in your collection, or if you've ever had one and thought it wasn't worth much, go take another look. You might be sitting on a hidden treasure that's just waiting to make you a millionaire. Remember, it's all about knowing what to look for, checking those details, and being patient. That coin could be worth a small fortune, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Now, before I wrap things up, I've got one final tip for you. If you love diving into the world of coin collecting and want to stay up to date on all the rare coins out there, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. I'm here to share more tips, tricks, and strategies on coins worth money, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on what's coming next. So go ahead, smash that subscribe button, and let's keep finding hidden treasures together. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. Have you ever thought you might be holding onto a coin that's worth more than your car, maybe even your house? Well, grab that old jar of quarters you've been meaning to sort through, because today we're talking about the 1997 P Washington quarter, a coin that could put a hefty sum in your pocket if you know what to look for. That's right, we're talking about a quarter worth a whopping $2.8 million. No, I'm not kidding, and I'm not trying to sell you some limited edition cereal box either. Stick around because this is going to be a good one. So let's get into it. The 1997 P Washington quarter, you know, the one you've probably tossed in a jar and never thought twice about, could be hiding in your collection and be worth millions. Now, before you run off to find that dusty old jar or the stack of quarters in your drawer, let's break down why this particular quarter is so valuable and how you can spot one. The first thing you need to know is that the 1997 P quarter isn't just rare for being a 1997 coin, it's rare because of an error that's associated with it. These specific quarters were struck with an interesting variety of minting issues, which make them more valuable. We're talking about the potential for really high-quality coins. We're talking about collectors willing to pay upwards of $2.8 million for one in pristine condition. Pretty insane, right? Not all 1997 P quarters are worth this much. So, if you've got a coin from 1997 sitting around, it's not automatically worth millions. You've got to know what you're looking for. What makes a 1997 P worth such an impressive sum is the combination of the coin's condition, rarity, and, in some cases, a minting flaw that makes it stand out. Think about it like buying an old baseball card. Sure, they all look the same, but there's one that has an error like the wrong player's picture, and that card can be worth a fortune. Same idea here, but hold on a second, let me take you back to when I first stumbled upon my own wow moment with coins. Picture this, it was a lazy Saturday afternoon and I was at my local flea market. Nothing too exciting was going on. You know, just browsing through some old books, picking up random knickknacks. But then I spotted an old coin dealer's booth. You know, the kind where the tables are covered with piles of dusty coins. I walked over, expecting nothing more than a couple of dull pennies from the 1940s, but then I saw it, a shiny quarter glimmering among the rest. The dealer wasn't making a big deal out of it, and that's what caught my attention. I asked about it, and sure enough, it was a 1997 P quarter. After a little bit of back and forth, I found out that this quarter was worth quite a bit more than I thought. I was hooked from that moment. Fast forward to today, and I'm here to share all these cool tips with you so that you, too, can find that rare gem in your collection. If I had known back then what I know now, I'd have grabbed that coin in a heartbeat. But you know what they say, you win some, you lose some. Now, let's talk about how to find the jackpot. The first thing you'll need is a keen eye. The value of these coins really depends on the specific characteristics of the coin. First, you've got to make sure it's in mint condition. Coins with minimal wear and tear, those with a strong strike, and ones that shine are much more valuable. So, no throwing them into your pocket and letting them bounce around in your jeans. Keep them protected. Invest in coin holders or little plastic cases to keep them in great shape. Then, of course, there's the error factor. Some of these 1997 P quarters were struck with irregularities. This might sound a little technical, but we're talking about things like double dies or off-center strikes. When you examine the coin closely, you might see these little flaws that set it apart from a regular quarter. A quick Google search or a trip to a coin expert can help you identify these specific errors. You know, this whole thing reminds me of an old saying, the good stuff is often hidden in plain sight. Many people overlook coins like this because they just don't know what to look for. And trust me, I get it. We all get busy and don't pay attention to the little details. But once you realize how valuable a seemingly ordinary quarter can be, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Timing is everything. While the 1997 P Washington quarter might be worth millions now, its value could increase even more as time passes. You'll want to hold onto your rare coins for a while, at least until they become a little more appreciated by collectors. And who knows, maybe you'll even be the lucky one to cash in on a coin that turns out to be the next big thing in the coin world. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you've got a 1997 P Washington quarter, don't just toss it aside. You might be holding on to something that could be worth a small fortune. Remember, the key is to keep your coins in mint condition, know what to look for in terms of errors, and most importantly, Keep an eye out for those rare and valuable ones that make coin collecting so exciting. I hope today's video gave you some valuable tips and maybe even inspired you to start looking through your change a little more carefully. Trust me, there's nothing like the thrill of discovering a rare coin that's worth way more than you imagine. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about coins worth big money, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and stories from the world of coin collecting. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next coin millionaire. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Grab your magnifying glass and hold onto your wallets because today we're diving into something that could make you $2.9 million richer. Yes, you heard me right. Now, I know that sounds like one of those too good to be true stories, but trust me, the 2020 P National Park quarter is a game changer in the world of rare coins. But before you start scouring your change jar like a detective looking for clues, let me tell you, not all 2020 P quarters are worth a fortune. You need to know what makes these coins so special and how to spot one that could be worth nearly $3 million. So stick around because by the end of this video you'll have some coin hunting knowledge that could make you the next big thing in the coin collecting world. And who knows? You might even find your own 2020 P quarter worth millions. Alright, let's get into it. First, let me paint you a picture. You're sitting at your kitchen table sorting through a pile of quarters from your change jar. You're just looking for some random loose change, but then boom, you spot a 2020 P National Park quarter. It's got that crisp shine, the familiar design, but something's different. You take a closer look and hold on a minute. This could be the jackpot. You know, I've been in this game for a while and I've seen some pretty valuable coins, but nothing quite like this one. It's like finding the hidden treasure in the back of your junk drawer. Trust me, I've been there. One day, I was going through my own coin collection expecting nothing more than the usual pennies and nickels when I stumbled across a 2020 P National Park quarter that I had completely forgotten about. I gave it the old double check and sure enough, it wasn't just any quarter. It was one of the rare ones that could potentially be worth a small fortune. So, what makes the 2020 P National Park quarter worth so much? First, let's talk about the coin itself. It's part of the America the Beautiful series, which features different national parks on the reverse side. For 2020, the coin highlights the Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve in the U.S. Virgin Islands. But here's the kicker, the 2020 P quarter was produced with an error that made it exceptionally rare. The P mint mark on these coins means they were minted in Philadelphia, but there was an issue with the minting process. And some of the quarters came out with a very unique flaw. That flaw is what makes these coins so valuable today. If you find a 2020 P with that error, you're holding on to a coin that could be worth up to $2.9 million. And trust me, it's not just about the rarity of the error, it's also about the timing. Collectors went absolutely crazy when they realized how rare these quarters were, and that demand drove up the price. Now, before you start thinking that every 2020 P National Park quarter is worth millions, let's clear something up. Not all of them are rare. It's all about the error. You need to find one that has the minting flaw, which isn't easy. But here's the thing, even if you don't find the golden ticket, these quarters are still worth more than the average pocket change you're used to give you an idea of just how rare these coins are. Think about it like this. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Imagine you're sifting through a sea of quarters, each one looking identical, but with a little patience and the right eye, you might just uncover a hidden treasure. It's like fishing. Some days, you catch nothing. But the day you catch that big one, it's worth the wait. Look for the P mint mark. If you don't see it, it's not a 2020 P and you can skip this one. The error on these quarters can be a subtle thing. Sometimes it's a misstrike, sometimes it's a design flaw. Either way, it's not easy to spot unless you really know what you're looking for. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. A shiny, well-preserved coin is worth a lot more than a worn-out, scratched-up one. If you're serious about finding this coin, you've got to be patient and persistent. Sort through your change regularly, hit up coin rolls from the bank, and keep an eye out on online auction sites where people sell rare coins. Sometimes, the best finds come when you least expect them. Alright, folks, I'm gonna wrap this up, but here's the deal, the 2020 P National Park quarter is a gem in the world of coin collecting. And if you're lucky enough to find one with the minting error, you could be looking at a cool $2.9 million. But even if you don't find the big winner, these quarters are still worth more than the average coin in your pocket. Coin hunting is an adventure. Whether you find something worth millions or just a few extra bucks, the thrill of the hunt is what makes it fun. And honestly, I've had my fair share of misses, but I wouldn't trade those moments for anything. I've learned a ton along the way, and now, so have you. So, before you head off to search your change jar, I know you're itching to do it, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can get more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. You don't want to miss out on the next hidden treasure. Keep hunting, keep learning, and as always, stay curious, my friends. Hey, folks! Imagine waking up tomorrow, checking your wallet, and discovering a coin that's worth $3 million. Sounds like something out of a dream, right? But trust me, it's more of a reality than you'd think, especially if you've got a 2000 P South Carolina $quarter hanging around. Yep, I said it, a quarter that could make you a millionaire. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just strike it rich with a few quarters lying around. Alright, let's break this down. We're talking about the 2000 P South Carolina $quarter minted in Philadelphia. Now, I know what you're thinking, a quarter? That's worth $3 million? Really? It's true, my friend. The 2000 P South Carolina quarter, in mint condition, could fetch an incredible $3 million on the market today. And it's not just any quarter, it's a limited edition, part of the 50-state quarter series, which is a huge deal for collectors. Back in 2000, the U.S. Mint released these quarters as part of a series celebrating each state. But unlike some of the other state quarters, South Carolina's coin got a bit of attention for a couple of specific reasons that set it apart. First, you've got the design, which features a beautiful rendition of the palmetto tree and a crescent moon, symbols of South Carolina. But here's the kicker, there was a small run of these coins that were misstruck. Some of them didn't have the typical minting errors that are easy to spot, like a double die or a poorly aligned strike. No, these ones had something even more interesting. You see, there's a particular flaw on the 2000 P South Carolina quarter where some of the coins were minted with a slight off-center image. This small defect, combined with the historical importance of the 50-state quarters series, turned these coins into rare collectibles. When I first heard about these coins, I thought it was a joke. I mean, a quarter worth $3 million? But once I did the research and saw the crazy demand, I couldn't help but kick myself. Back in the day, I used to collect coins just like everyone else, thinking I had all these cool finds, and I know now that I probably missed a few hidden treasures that could have made me a pretty penny. Seriously though, every time I come across a 2000 P South Carolina quarter now, I give it a second glance. You just never know. Now let's talk about how you can spot these rare quarters. First, look for the obvious, the 2000 P mint mark. That's your first clue that you've got the right year and mint. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins, due to the minting flaw, may have an off-center design or other slight irregularities. If you've got one with a noticeable error, you could be looking at something worth a whole lot more than just 25 cents. It's not just the off-center error that makes these coins valuable, though. The 2000 P South Carolina quarter is one of the hardest ones to find in pristine condition. It was released into circulation just like every other coin, so finding one in mint state is a bit like finding a needle in a haystack. The less wear and tear on the coin, the higher its value. That's why if you happen to stumble upon one in your coin jar or wallet, check for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. The more minty fresh, the better, but don't get discouraged if you don't find one of these rarities in your pocket change just yet. The key takeaway here is that you can still find valuable coins hiding in plain sight, whether it's a 2000 P South Carolina quarter or something else entirely. The market for rare coins is constantly evolving, and if you've got an eye for it, you can build up a collection of your own that could one day be worth a fortune. Now, if you want to get serious about this whole coin collecting thing, here's what I suggest. Start learning the basics. Get yourself a good coin book or guide. The more you know about the different types of errors, mint marks, and rare coins, the more likely you are to spot hidden gems. It's like fishing, you don't catch a big one without some knowledge of the waters you're fishing in. And if you want to get really ahead of the game, start hitting up your local coin shops or looking for estate sales where people may be unloading their coin collections. You just never know what might be sitting in someone's attic. Don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and research these rare coins yourself. You'll be amazed at what some collectors have been able to score with just a little bit of effort. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme though, wouldn't that be nice? But it's definitely a chance to get ahead and possibly find something that could change your financial future. The 2000 P South Carolina quarter dollar. It's a coin that, thanks to its rarity and the unique minting errors, could land you a cool $3 million if you're lucky enough to find one in great condition. But even if you don't, keep your eyes open. Coin collecting isn't just about the potential for a huge payoff, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the history, and maybe even a few personal treasures that you can pass down through generations. If you've learned something today, or if you're just as excited as I am about the possibility of striking gold with some old change, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll get more tips on coins worth money, coin collecting strategies, and all kinds of fun facts that'll make you the go-to-coin expert among your friends. Who knows? The next time you grab a handful of coins, one of them could be the next big thing. So go ahead, give that subscribe button a click, and don't forget to leave a comment if you've got a rare coin hiding around your house or if you've ever had a lucky find yourself. We're diving into something that might just make your jaw drop. The 2000 P Mint Mark Fredericksburg quarter. It's got a crazy market value of $3.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A coin that's probably sitting in your collection right now could be worth a small fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off your change jar, and let's see if you've got a hidden treasure on your hands. Before we dive in, let me hit you with a quick story. Back when I first started collecting coins, I thought a rare coin was just something you found in a grandmother's old jar of pennies. I mean, who knew a quarter from 2000 could be worth that much? And that's when it hit me. Collecting coins isn't just a hobby. It's a way to unlock a potential gold mine. And today, I'm going to tell you why that Fredericksburg quarter is one of the top-tier coins you'll want to keep an eye out for. Now, make sure you stick around for the whole video because I've got some strategies to share on how you can find, buy, and maybe even sell these rare gems. Plus, I'll be talking about how to spot these valuable coins without needing a professional appraisal. You don't need a PhD to get this right. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more tips on coins worth money. Trust me, you'll want to stick around because this is just the beginning. Alright, let's jump in. So what makes the 2000 P Fredericksburg quarter so special? I mean, it's just a regular quarter, right? Wrong. The coin was minted in 2000 as part of the state quarter series, but it's the P Mint mark that adds that sweet, sweet value. You see, the U.S. Mint produced these quarters to celebrate different states, and the Fredericksburg design was chosen to represent Virginia. The design shows a picture of the historic Fredericksburg battlefield, a location with deep roots in American history. Pretty cool, right? But what makes this coin rare isn't just the history behind it. It's how few of these babies actually made it into circulation. In fact, these coins were minted in much smaller quantities than other state quarters, which gives them that extra boost in value. Only a few were ever released to the public, and even fewer made it out in good condition, which is why they're so coveted today. A mint condition 2000 P Fredericksburg quarter can fetch up to $3.1 million at auction. Yeah, you heard me right. So, if you've been tossing around quarters without giving them a second glance, now might be the time to start rethinking that change jar strategy. How to spot a 2000 P Fredericksburg quarter now that you know how valuable this coin is? How do you spot it? It's not like you can just run into a coin that's worth millions every day, right? Actually, you might be closer to finding one than you think. Here's what you need to keep an eye out for. Check the mint mark. It's a P located just under the date on the front of the coin. This is the key that differentiates it from other quarters in the same series. Like with any rare coin, condition matters. A coin that's been through a few too many laundromats or has been tossed in your pocket for years probably won't be worth much. But if the coin is in mint condition, meaning it has no major scratches, dings, or discoloration, then you're looking at a potential gold mine. Look for those coins that stand out from the crowd. A lot of these quarters were produced, but only a select number made it into circulation in pristine condition. So if you find one that's particularly shiny, has a smooth surface, or looks like it was just freshly minted, you're in luck. Most quarters you find in circulation aren't going to be worth more than a couple of bucks. But the 2000 P Fredericksburg quarter is different. Its rarity, combined with its historical significance, makes it highly sought after by collectors. And when you get something that people want badly enough, the price goes up. Wayup.to put it into perspective a few years ago. A 2000 P Fredericksburg quarter was auctioned off for $3.1 million. Now, you might be wondering, how do I get my hands on one of these bad boys? Well, you're in luck. I've got a few tips on how to increase your chances. Like I mentioned earlier, you might already have one in your pocket. Keep your eyes peeled and take a look at any quarters that come your way. You never know when you might get lucky. Sometimes the best finds happen when you least expect it. Check out local estate sales, garage sales, and even online auctions. And if you're feeling brave, pop into a local coin shop and see if anyone has a 2000 P Fredericksburg quarter for sale. But remember, condition is key. To really spot the rare coins, invest in a good magnifying glass and a coin grade guide. Trust me, a $10 magnifying glass could save you from tossing out a fortune. And hey, even if you don't find one of these quarters right away, don't sweat it. Keep learning, keep hunting, and you'll be amazed at how many treasures are out there waiting for you. But here's the real takeaway. Coin collecting is about more than just finding rare coins. It's about enjoying the hunt, learning about history, and yes, maybe even turning a profit. So start your journey today, and remember, the next time you're sifting through your change jar, it could be the start of something big.so. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, strategies, and stories about coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, there's a whole lot more where this came from.